Hello, everyone. This is Pastor Randy again. I've got a friend that follows our midweek messages, and he asked me to address, if I could, the trend of doubting everything that we see in the media today that actually causes us more confusion and anger than we've ever felt before. And I thought that was a great question to ask, a great thing to think about, to ponder on. And the truth is, we are inundated with information and opinion on social media and the news, and it's important that we not confuse that stuff with what is real truth. You know, listening to Christian pastors and apologists lately, they say that today anybody can get on a keyboard or on a phone and espouse something that usually is politically or socially hot with no factual basis or credibility, and their whole purpose is to elicit some kind of incendiary reaction from the people, and that's usually what you get. Some of these posts on Facebook and social media, you'll see reactions that are 20 and 30, 40 people just emotionally charged and explosive, and you get arguments on there, and that's exactly what they're doing that for. There was a time when, some of you remember, our teachers told us that you don't write anything down that you haven't factually checked or researched and found to be true. If you want to write your opinion, you put that in the editorial place of the newspaper, because that's where opinions belong. The problem is that most everything we see today, even on the news, belongs in the editorial section of the newspaper because it's not fact-based. I'm old enough to remember a CBS News anchor by the name of Walter Cronkite. He was once dubbed the most trusted man in America. He reported on World War II, Korea, Vietnam, the race riots of the 60s, Watergate, the moon landings, and his reports were based on personal experience and research, and truth was espoused the best way that he could. His famous saying at the end of his broadcast was, "And that's the way it was, June 10th, 1968. It wasn't, this is the way I think it should be, this is the way my political party tells me I should report it to you. This is the factual-based truth according to him." And that's why he was so trusted. And so it's easy to see why so many people are frustrated and angry and confused, because we've lost sight of the truth. And anger and confusion is our response to what we see. Partially because I think the world has changed so much. In my lifetime, I've seen what I was taught is right is now considered wrong. And things that I were taught were wrong are now considered right. It's no wonder that we're confused and angry at what we see in the news media and in social media. The search for truth is an age-old one. In John chapter 18, we find Jesus is brought before Pilate, the Roman military governor. And Pilate was told by the Pharisees how bad Jesus was, how he was violating Jewish law, and he should be killed. Pilate was taught by the followers of Jesus how good Jesus was and how he should be saved. Pilate was told even by Jesus himself who he was. And then there was Pilate's military training telling him what he should do. And it's no wonder he was so frustrated and so confused, he asked the question, so what is truth? The same question that my friend asked me to research today. What is truth? In John 14:6, Jesus says this, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me." That's a pretty incredible thing to say, don't you think? That all truth comes from Jesus, all truth comes from God. So why is it that we are struggling so much? Even Christians, we're struggling with what we think is truth. I was following a pastor on the internet one time, and he said the reason why the book of Revelation is so difficult is because so many people come to the book with preconceived ideas of what it should say. And they try to make the Bible fit their preconceived ideas, so it goes in so many different directions. And I think the same thing happens today with people, and Christians especially. They come with preconceived ideas of what we see and how we should react. There is a famous Christian apologist by the name of Ravi Zacharias. He just passed away, an awesome man of God. And he said, today we tend to look at issues in the world with our left leanings and our right leanings, and we're trying to figure them out. He said the problem is that truth doesn't come from the left, and it doesn't come from the right. It comes from the up and down. It comes from God, and it comes from the understanding of Scripture. In fact, if we look at Philippians 2:12, it says, "Therefore, my dear friends, as you have always obeyed, not only in my presence, but now more in my absence, continue to work out your salvation with fear and trembling. For it is God who works in you to will and to act according to his good purpose. The truth comes from God. The truth comes from reading Scripture. The truth comes from studying Scripture, from praying, from spending time in God. That's where the truth is. And when we do that, we may find that our preconceived ideas on topics of race, human sexuality, human rights, need to be adjusted according to God's will and teaching. We've been led differently in the last years according to the world, and I think a lot of it is not God leading. We have to get back to Scripture to tell us what truth is. We may find it difficult that some of the things we think are not what God thinks, and we have to readjust our ideas and thoughts as Christians to match what Scripture says. It requires work on our part. That's why it talks about working out our salvation with fear and trembling, because it's not easy, but it's the only way. I'd rather live in a world of truth according to God's will than fear and trembling according to what the world throws at me. We're living in a time when we've got time now to study and to research. Let's not go the wrong direction. Let's not miss out on the chance to find what real truth is. Thanks for listening. I hope this answered my friend's question. I hope it was valuable to you. Let's do the right thing. Let's search truth from God. God bless you. Have a great day.